It's been too long since I've seen it.
The thing I hate most about that intro, now that I've had time to watch it over and over again, is the minuscule amount of sound / noise that comes out of my mouth as my back is being broken. That's the thing that I feel is the most insulting.
You're aware that Karma caught up to Cameron Kennedy, are you? He hurt his back this morning. He tweeted he hurt his back this morning. Don't tell Nick.
Yeah, that's Karma telling you what goes around comes around.
I think we need another edit for this though, to include that silly musical cue, but it sounds like the dinosaur roar in the upcoming
the trailer
Jurassic Park Dominion, where you just hear the or whatever that sound is, and it needs to happen whenever Nick makes that sound. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Of course, this is Kinda Funny's Jurassic in Review, where we are going to rank, review, and recap all of the Jurassic movies from the park to the world franchise. We've been doing it, and the last couple weeks we took a little break to venture back into some other franchises, including Top Gun, where we did Top Gun 1 and Top Gun Maverick, so you can go check that out. But of course, you can previously catch up on Jurassic Park 1, 2, 3, and then World 1 before we get to Jurassic World Dominion next week. Of course, I'm Tim Geddes, and I'm joined by the Nitro Rifle, Andy Cortez.
Oh, man, this movie.
The Big Daddy, Greg Miller. This is going to be an energy, and I freaking love it. Producer / seducer Nick Scarpino.
A top of the evening to you, Tim.
And for the first time this month, a new one. It's Christmas in June. Joey Noel.
For some reason, I was expecting you to say April, and then I was like, "Oh, it's definitely not
June."
April.
Yeah, which is absolutely insane to think about. But of course, this is Kinda Funny's in review, where each and every week we get together to rank, review, and recap different movie franchises. If there is a series that you love or hate, chances are we have reviewed it. So go check it out. You can find it on youtube.com/kindafunny or roosterteeth.com. You can also get it as a podcast by searching your favorite podcast service for Kinda Funny in Review. And if you're over there, give our in review some reviews. Go to your favorite podcast service, give us those thumbs up, those 5 stars. It really helps us out. If you want to help us out financially, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunny to get your reviews read in haiku form, which is fantastic. Also, you get the show ad-free. You can watch it live as it's being recorded. Shout out to Patreon producers Gordon McGuire, Molecule, and Fargo Brady. We love and appreciate you all so very, very much. Today, we're brought to you by Chime, Credit Karma, and MeUndies, but I'll tell you all about that later. I want to get to this with haste. I want to talk about everything about this movie so badly with y'all. So let's kick this off. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, starring Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum confirmed his involvement on this movie on December 6, 2017, marking his return 21 years after The Lost World and 25 after the original Jurassic Park. In a podcast interview, Goldblum said of his role, "It's small. Who knows? They may cut me out of it entirely. But if I stay in, I'll be a sprig of parsley or a little garnish, hopefully with some impact." The director said he's more like a cameo. He doesn't have a major role in the action, but it's definitely a very meaningful one in terms of the story. He's got a beard now, and he's like, "I told all you this is going to be a disaster," and sure enough, it is. In an interview with Vulture, Jeff Goldblum said...
Wait, was that the quote from the director still?
Yeah.
He's got a beard now? It's going to be a disaster?
Yeah. In an interview with Vulture, Jeff Goldblum said that he does not mind at all when he gets asked to essentially play himself on the big screen. Quote, "People write Jeff Goldblum-y parts, and they want me to do them, and that's fine. I think I can even do a better version of it. So no, this little Jeff Goldblum row that I'm hoeing, it's still adventurous."
Yeah.
God bless this man. But I love
great way to put it.
Having said all of that, Jeff Goldblum being like, "Nah, it's a cameo, it might get cut," and the director being like, "Oh yeah, it's nothing, it's just this little thing." The marketing team clearly did not get that memo because
we don't fucking care. Use all the footage.
Just put it all in the trailers. This has a runtime of 2 hours and 8 minutes. Released on June 22nd, 2018. It is the first movie in the Jurassic Park franchise to have a post-credit scene. I don't know if y'all stayed.
I didn't stick it out. That's
Absolutely not.
Fuck no.
You see a lot of
my Xbox out the window immediately.
Much of my pterodactyl boys flying around Eiffel Tower in Vegas. So yeah, a little tease of what might come next time.
Version.
This one was directed by J.A. Bayona. He directed the 2007 horror film The Orphanage.
Morona.
With you, Greg.
We're the music guys, man.
Yeah, we are.
The 2012 film The Impossible that featured Tom Holland as little baby boy, and the 2016 fantasy drama A Monster Calls. He then went on to do Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. He's also directed a bunch of television commercials and music videos, and he will direct the first 2 episodes, Andy, of the Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. So strap in for that. The first movie he ever watched was Richard Donner's Superman, which inspired him to be a director.
Badass.
That is
Great film.
Great film.
Yeah. Music by Michael Giacchino.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind. It's a sad time.
Not a lot of noteworthy music in this.
No,
every once in a while, Nick, Jordan shot 5 for 19. Like
that's true.
You got your off nights every once in a while.
Do you think they made him wear the original Jordans when he was composing this? And he was like, my feet hurt. I can't really.
I don't know.
God bless you, Nick. Never change. Nick is the most yes and motherfucker I have ever met in my life.
I like to keep the party. I don't like when the party ends, guys. I like when the party goes to Denny's afterward. Okay.
Sometimes
and I feel like it's rare that Andy doesn't know what to do with something that Nick says.
Nick's just offering up some bullshit on a plate. I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this.
You're watching the tennis match, and it's when there's a volley back and forth, and then the ball just goes, and the guy doesn't even make the move for it. Like, all right. You got this. You get the point.
It was a lot of backspin. It bounced back over the net. I was
you're watching a game, you can't hear what they're saying, but I clearly go, that was on me. That was my. I'll take that one. That's me.
This movie had a budget of $187 million, by far the biggest budget of a Jurassic Park movie so far. One of the main reasons for that is this movie features the most dinosaurs than any other one in the franchise, and I think it's by a sizable amount. The box office. The film grossed over $1.3 billion.
Jesus God, that's the problem right there.
Worldwide.
That's the problem.
Making it the 3rd Jurassic film to pass the $1 billion mark, and was the 3rd highest grossing film in 2018 and the 12th highest grossing film of all time when it came out. Now,
so sad.
It is the 16th highest grossing film of all time. What are the 4 movies that are above it?
The 4 movies that are above this?
4 movies that came out since 2018 that are above
Endgame.
Endgame is at number 2.
Infinity War.
No, that was before this.
Fuck.
No Way Home.
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man No Way Home at 6th place.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
No.
Coming in at 10th place. Frozen 2.
Oh shit! I would have never guessed that.
And coming in at 8th place,
Morbius.
Y'all would never guess this.
Venom.
The Lion King.
Oh,
The Lion King is currently the 8th highest grossing movie of all time.
The most forgettable movie of all time. Jesus Christ!
Wow, damn.
Do they count both Lion Kings in that by accident?
No.
Like, are they adding them both? Okay.
No.
Due to an accounting error, we've added them both together. We can't separate the receipts.
So, without further ado, this is a rare time in review, because every once in a while we start the show, I start going around. I'm like, who's going to go first? It's usually random. Every once in a while, I'm like, I want to set the tone. I want to go for it. And this was one of those times where I'm like, I want to fucking go. I was thinking about in the shower. When I got out of the shower, though, I got a text from Greg Miller that said, let me go first. And I was like, okay. So, Greg Miller, let's go. What do you have to say about Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom?
Tim, Andy, Nick, Joey, kind of funny best friends listening or watching this program. I'm Greg Miller, and obviously I'm known for a lot of things. 2015, trending gamer.
So long ago, yeah.
2016, San Francisco's most eligible bachelor for 3 months. And then, of course, on twitter.com/GameOverGreggy, I'm known for my hashtag hard truths.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Let me tell you something. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is a blast. I had so much fucking fun with this dumbass film. And here's why. I've been racking my brain because I saw it all before. All of you Andy Cortezes and Joey Noels with your monocles and your martinis poo-pooing this, saying it wasn't art, all right? Here's what I'll say about it, is that a little film called Scream recently introduced the idea of the requel. You know, they're going to do the original, but different, but in the same universe, but call all these things, blah, blah, blah. That's why Jurassic World. What was the last one? Just Jurassic World? Was that the one?
Yeah.
Jurassic World didn't work for me. It's because it didn't know what it wanted to be. It's trying to keep a foot into what we loved about Jurassic Park, but it's nowhere near as good as that. All of a sudden, there's these fucking weird-ass tech people that are clearly the comic relief, but they don't fit. Bryce Dallas Howard all over the map in terms of what's going on. They're forcing this Chris Pratt relationship. The whole thing, no. And then, of course, Judy Greer, amazing, and the kids, and they seem to be pulled from the original, but that wasn't what this world is. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom from start to finish knows what it is. And it is a dumbass Hollywood blockbuster that I enjoyed. I will be voting as number 2. This movie was fun as hell from the very beginning. They go in there, they're in the fucking thing underwater, the giant megalodons there. The guy, come on. Like, you know what I mean? The guy who's everybody right out of this is just the most stereotypical whatever they're gonna be. You know what I mean? Here comes the big game hunter. I'm like, oh, immediately this guy's gonna fuck everybody over. He's gonna fuck everybody. Here's the kid who used to be fat in Shaun of the Dead. He seems super nice now. He's not. He's gonna do this thing. Now, Nick, this is a reference for you. All right, I'm tossing it out. Catch there. Here's Mr. Skolnick from Revenge of the Nerds, right? the Lewis's dad or whatever in Revenge of the Nerds. He's old and in bed, and he fucking cloned his goddamn granddaughter. I'm like, this movie's fucking nonsense.
Are you talking about Academy Award winner James Cromwell?
Sure am.
And your pull for him,
Revenge of the Nerds.
Your pull for him is he's Lewis's dad in Revenge of the Nerds, which I think was like it was the first Revenge of the Nerds, right? He drops him off in college.
Yeah,
that's a great pull.
At least Revenge of the robot or something. Come on,
Secession. I know he's from Secession too, and I also know if you haven't seen him in the midst of the entire country burning down, in the midst of the entire fucking country tearing itself apart. He also just recently did a protest at Starbucks because they're charging more for fucking oat milk.
He glued his hand. He glued his hand to the bar at the Starbucks
room. You know what I mean? You're protesting oat milk right now? Are you kidding?
He was protesting because
we're fucking worried about the oat milk. I expected more from you, Revenge of the Nerd Dad. All right, anyways, back to it. Then you got this film. And we are out there. There's just in that. I loved it. I had a great time. Is it way too long? Yeah, it's way too long. You know what I mean? That second half is a hike, and it just keeps multiplying. It just keeps changing up. But when fucking formerly fat kid from Shaun of the Dead sitting there and watching the numbers tick up as they're bidding on it, they got fucking Hail Hydra dude out there. You know what I mean? And when you're the kid, you're telling me when they get in the elevator and the doors close, I'm like, whoo, and then the tail is. Yes! Fuck yes, I'm having fun with this film.
Tim, before we go on, I'd like to issue an apology, an official correction to Greg Miller, because I threw some shade at him right there and said Academy Award winner James Cromwell. I just want to say for the one kid that's going to say, Nick, he was actually nominated for Babe but didn't win. You were right. I just looked that up. So
and
Greg,
he also skated in, like, you needed like 38 lines of dialogue, and he got in like right at the line or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. But remember when he goes, that'll do, pig, that'll do.
Of course.
Dude.
Yeah,
me neither.
That's Cromwell.
That's fantastic. Nick, what did you think of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom?
This movie is kind of, to me, the definition of a money grab, right? We're not really doing anything new with this. And I remember watching this in theaters, and when they left the island at like minute 30 in the movie, I'm like, wait a minute, is the rest of this movie just going to be them going around this stupid mansion with this like weird auction happening in the basement? And it was. It's not fun at all. I think all the problems the first one with the character dynamics are amplified in this. And I think the crux of the movie, there's some interesting stuff in there, right? Like the idea that Jeff Goldblum brings up of the genetics and how that's going to eventually like ruin the world and kill all humanity. But that's something that is very much shoehorned in and bookends the movie with just this cameo scene that they got Jeff Goldblum to film. I wish that had been the main crux of it, similar to how the first one kind of broached that same topic with Jeff Goldblum. That was kind of the main theme of that. In this one, it's shoehorned in. And then we get this weird kid that's a clone. That's just kind of freaky to watch the entire time. Greg, what were you going to say?
I agree with you. It was shoehorned in. Obviously, this is very much like them just telling you something, because I think, like, obviously, this is one of the strengths of this dumb movie, is that this movie is like, no, this is the universe we're building. Jeff Goldblum is going to tell you some nonsense that, like, oh, well, we had nuclear shit and now we can clone whatever. It's clearly going to bite us in the ass. And you're like, I don't know if that really would. But I'll get when they get to the fucking end and little clone girl lets them all out. You kidding me? Right there, they're all running out. They're having a great time. They're frolicking.
She lets out.
And again, keep in mind, the state of our country. people would be fucking so happy if this happened. You'd have so many people packing their guns and driving. I get to hunt fucking dinosaurs in Northern California. I'm all about. But they do it and they go and then they bookend it, and that's when I was like, we're driving the point home, and I like that. And he even says the following. It's Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to know how much this fucking movie? I finished it last night about 11:45. You know what I immediately fucking did? Went to YouTube, watched all the trailers for Dominion. I was like, give me more of this. And then I don't know if you know this, you probably don't because nobody likes it apparently. They put the first 5 minutes of the movie up like 6 months ago. I watched it.
What is happening?
Greg, I think Greg just became a Jurassic World super fan.
I am so in. I was so pissed when I missed Jurassic Park in review episode 1. I forget why, sickness or something. I forget what it was, but I couldn't do it. Remember? And I love that film, and I was so excited to talk about it. And I knew we just went downhill from there. Nobody told me we went downhill, and then wow, Michael Jordan fucking slammed a jam down this thing, man. We're back, baby. I can't wait for Monday. I can't wait to see this movie.
Oh, I'm glad one of us is excited, Greg, because to finish my thoughts on this film, I think it's the complete opposite of how Greg is reacting to this. The movie to me is just not very fun. It takes and it's kind of a slog, and they lean into more of the horror aspects of it, which I think some of that stuff's well filmed. And I think we threw the director. We kind of rolled our eyes when we talked about the director, but I think the movie's competently directed. I just think we're 5 movies or 4 movies into a movie to dinosaurs, and we've milked it for all that it can be at this point. The big issue I have with it is the constant need to reiterate to the audience that we should care about these dinosaurs.
Sure.
And I just don't. A, because I know they're CG, and B, because the filmmakers don't do a good enough job making them anywhere close to sympathetic characters. There's still a big part of me that's like, yeah, you should let these things die. They're massive 1,000-ton killing machines that are going to kill everything that they see, and there's a reason why humans can't exist with them. It's kind of a no-brainer to me. But the fact that they're like, we got to go save Blue, we got to do this on an island that's exploding is so ridiculous to me. And then we get there and it's not fun. It's not it's like everyone's complaining. The only fun person that's having any sort of fun in this is Buffalo Bill, who's hamming it up, pulling teeth out of dinosaurs because he's making some sort of weird Vietnam era necklace out of them. It's such a weird movie. And you kind of get the feeling that even Chris Pratt, like at moments you're like, oh, Chris Pratt's just trying so hard to give him something. He's trying to give us something, and everything he does in it just kind of falls flat, like everything else in the movie. To me, it's just kind of a dud.
Joanna Noel.
Oh man, I get the full name for this one. I fucking hate this movie. To me, this is an even less fun Lost World, which is like a statement that is like a hard thing that I didn't think was possible. It's just, for as much as like there are dinosaurs in this movie, I feel like I don't necessarily really care about too many of them, nor do they seem like that cool. It's just like, oh, they're just here. And I hate it. I don't at all buy that Bryce Dallas Howard is now this like advocate to save these dinosaurs. When she called them assets throughout the entire first movie, and now all of a sudden she has this like
she touched the Triceratops, remember?
Yeah,
in Jurassic World.
bleeding heart for these dinosaurs. So fuck that.
Senator, but your children will now grow up in a world without dinosaurs.
like they would have with
of human being. What argument is this?
It's
literally
so
every
bad.
generation of human being grew up without dinosaurs. Every generation.
It's terrible. I still hate her and Chris Pratt. That like part at the beginning of the bar when she's like laughing at him. I'm like, this is like the most fake forced thing I've ever seen in my entire life. 100%. I hate that. I don't like any of the side characters. I think the like other activist girl is like super annoying. I don't really like Justice Smith that much. The cloning of the granddaughter, fucking weird. Like I don't. Then you have like the weird. It's the hunter guy from the Lost World, but now he takes teeth, and it's just like this might be the worst interview movie I've ever suffered through, including all the Transformers ones.
Wow,
Andy Cortez.
I don't think this movie is as bad as the Transformers movies. But it's kind of a shitty movie. I feel like there's a lot of different writers that wrote different characters without any sort of like thought of how they might be presented or interact with each other. Like one person was in charge of Justice Smith and Daniela Pineda, and they're like, "All right, I'll write for them, and then you write for Chris Pratt and so, and you write for the fucking weird doctor guy with the red hair and the clone girl." Like, all of this movie feels so different when we are going from scene to scene. Like, there's such a weird tonal kind of just like, I don't know, it just throws me off. But I do think that some of the Indoraptor scenes were kind of exciting and thrilling at moments. Some of those chase scenes were pretty neat. But the whole time I am still wondering, like, that I can't believe that this movie, despite so many disasters, right? Despite so much violence in the streets, despite so many deaths, these movies still keep getting made. And it's the story of Jurassic Park. Like, making these movies is the Jurassic Park story. Capitalism will always win. They will keep on making them regardless of how many disasters have happened with each movie. I think that this movie, like, if you were to tell me that some producer was like, wouldn't it be cool if a bunch of people ran away, dinosaurs and people were running away from a volcano? They're like, yeah, let's do that. Let's make a whole movie kind of like just based on this little concept.
And the volcano's going to catch them off guard, right? Oh, no, they're going to know it's erupting. They're going to go there.
Yeah, it really just seems like somebody dreamed of that sequence, or maybe just thought of like drawing it and like, this would be a cool little thing to put in a movie somewhere. All right, well, fuck it, put it in the next Jurassic Park movie. This movie is so, tonally just weird. I didn't find myself enjoying a whole lot of it, except for some of those sequences where the Indoraptor is kind of hunting them down. It's so stupid. The gun with the sound, it's like unbelievable.
You point a laser at them, but wait, there's more. You also hit the sound cue, and it goes straight for that thing. I'm like, what? But by the way, sorry,
so ridiculous. I just wanted to say that Arnim Zola looks like an older version of Foggy Bear. Foggy from
from Daredevil.
Daredevil,
yeah.
That's the most.
Is it not Foggy Bear? Oh, it's Fozzie Bear.
Fozzie Bear is a Muppet. Yeah,
Foggy Bear, I think, is a nickname for him at one point in that show.
The idea of the dinosaurs being advanced weapons is so stupid, and I can't believe they rehashed it. They doubled down on that idea and that concept here, because it was comical with Vincent D'Onofrio, and obviously, like, when he was calling it in, he was calling into Ellis, right? We can assume that. That's incredible, Greg. Thank you. But it just doesn't make any sense. Like, you have this advanced technology, and the only thing you can think to do with it is to breed a dinosaur for like 6 months, train it, feed it, get it over to the place where you want to use it as a weapon, and then have a group of people laze a target with a sound cue so it can go kill. I'm like, just make a bomb. A bomb could do what this thing does, and you don't have to genetically engineer it. This is so stupid.
Well, this one gets in and out, though. You can only use the bomb once. This you can use multiple times.
Yeah.
Until someone shoots it.
They'll never see it coming unless they see the laser or hear the sound. That was the thing. Is like, once it got out and it was like chasing people, it was like, it's not even that much of a killing machine. It's like, why is this that much stronger than a raptor? It's just like, it's bigger, I guess.
It's
but like,
really not.
Like, even when it gets into the girl's room and it's like, I got you now. And then I'm like slowly creep. Like, why is this raptor playing with her now?
I did like the one shot sequence of the bubble that Greg is in right now with the underwater kind of trying to get them out. I thought that was filmed really well and kind of paced the super
ridiculous, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I just love the idea. Like, I think when there's anything having to do with underwater and drowning, like, I feel the tension, and the fact that this was a one shot, I thought it was like the best thing in this whole movie, and maybe the last two movies. But yeah, it's not a good movie. It stinks.
Tim,
it's a stinker.
What do you think?
Looking at this picture of Greg with Justice Smith's mouth open, I can hear that scream. that we heard 1,000 times in the trailers that just hearing it in this movie, I'm like, here we go again. I wish that I was with Greg Miller on this because I see what he's saying in terms of they committed and they had a vision. Unfortunately, I did not find the fun in it the way that Greg did. In fact, it was the exact opposite. I think that this movie from the very beginning knows exactly what it is and does not have nearly as much fun with that premise as it should. Like, this is the 5th Jurassic movie. They're like, we've done so many different things with dinosaurs at this point. This is just going to be action. It's just going to be more. Last week I was saying, or a couple weeks ago, I was saying Jurassic World felt soulless, but at least it felt like it knew what it was trying to be, which was just, hey, remember this thing? We're going to modernize it a little bit, and we're going to like give you some moments that like are genuinely exciting and stupid. And the end of the movie with Blue teaming up with the T-Rex to take down the Indosaurus Rex or whatever the hell it was called. Like, that made me go, fuck yeah, this is stupid as hell. I love it. There was no moment close to that in this movie. And I think that movie also had the woman getting gratuitously killed and picked apart and thrown into a million ways. Like, that was fun. That was a stupid fun thing that they did. This movie, I think, has between 7 and 10 scenarios that I'm like, how is this not exciting and fun? Like Andy was saying, there's a volcano with dinosaurs running away and these people in a gyrosphere. That should be thrilling and awesome. And with a couple shots, I think are well done. I think the only nice thing I can say about this movie is there are a couple shots that I thought were really cool. The shot of the T-Rex yelling at the lion, pretty cool. I liked that. The gyrosphere falling into the water with the dinosaurs and fire and shit falling around them, pretty cool. The shot of the caged dinosaur being brought in, you just kind of see the shadow, pretty cool. But it's just shots in the context around it, I feel doesn't ever add up to as fun as this movie needed to be for how from the get-go, like this thing starts off, there's a weird Titanic ripoff of them going under, like finding the bones of the Indosaurus. And then we see the logo, and it is the most un-Jurassic Park feeling thing we've ever seen. It tells us right off the bat, this movie's about to be different. It's just straight up action. Like, we get the lava flowing through the fucking Jurassic logo. The music's not even, like, it's just more like, the music feels like generic Star Wars cartoon music, like not even generic Star Wars movie music. And I'm like, all right, I guess that's where we're at with this. And then you just get into it. There's immediately a bunch of dinosaurs. And to Joey's point, you don't care about them. There are more dinosaurs. They explain a couple of them more and give them some backstories, but I'm not attached to any of them the way that somehow all the other movies at least gave me something to grasp onto, where 3, for all its faults, I like the pterodactyl sequence. Obviously, the T-Rex is iconic, right? With Jurassic World, they built up this Indosaurus, and it made sense to us. The raptor in this feels derivative of an already derivative thing. And I just feel like while there was a couple cool shots, I think no scene was great. And it just was not nearly fun enough for what this needed to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna quote one of your favorite movies, one of them Star Wars, right? Let the past die, kill it if you have to. Yes, again, this movie commits to, you know what? We've tried 4 times to sequelize Jurassic Park and we've been unable to do it. Everybody doesn't like those movies and they're all bad wet farts. Here, we're just gonna give you a loud ripping fart and we're gonna have a great time with it. Yeah, go get it. That Titanic thing, that was awesome. That was a great opening. That was a great opening for this stupid movie. I loved it. Andy, back to you.
I think that I would enjoy this more. I think I'd be on the level of Greg if, and I hate to do this because we do it almost every episode, if the Fast and Furious cast was in this movie. Because I would take it way less seriously. I know the level of actors we're working with. I know that I'm going to be laughing at the lines they're saying because of how stupid and unbelievable they are. But I think the cast in this movie and the level of actors that they have cast are still serious enough and they want to be full of substance, but it equals to me like being like, God, this sucks, as opposed to like, this is hilariously bad. And I wish that they went just full on with like bring in, I don't know. It's in a weird space where it's like, do we need terrible actors in here? I think so. I don't think we could just hire serious comedic actors. I think it just has to be like, I need Ja Rule in here. I need Tyrese and Vin Diesel and Ludacris, and I just need the Fast and Furious crew to be in here so that when they say stupid shit, and when suddenly Ludacris is talking about the DNA structure of the Indoraptor, that I'm like, God, this movie's so stupid, I love it. But in here, I just cannot be on that level like Greg is, and I wish I could. Greg, I want to be there. I'm looking at you in this goddamn gyrosphere. For audio listeners, he's in the gyrosphere right now. I want to be in there with him rolling down a goddamn hill, and I just can't get there.
See, it's funny you bring up Fast and the Furious because that's what I was thinking watching this. This is what you guys must feel like when you watch Fast and the Furious. Because like that last Fast and Furious was pulling teeth for me. I was not having a good time at all. In this movie, I was having a great time. You guys, and you're gonna tell me you didn't feel for any of the dinosaurs? This movie gave me an actual reason to care about Blue. All right, remember when he goes, Blue comes in and rubs his face. I was like, yeah, that's like Porty. All right, I like Blue. Let's fucking go, Blue.
It was cute to see little baby dinosaurs. It was cute.
Yeah, it was also kind of weird. We were like, why is this just playing in a lab? Was someone here watching this? Who's creeping on this? Doesn't matter. The Fast and Furious, like, I think knows what it is a lot more, and they specialize in the absurd.
My thing is that, again, like, I think this one, to what we're saying, I think this one knows what it is. I think it's just that it's changing what Jurassic Park / World has been before. Like, I don't think anybody thought they were making high art here.
No, but I don't think they thought too hard about the concept for this movie and sort of the gimmick of what it was going to be, because to me the movie's actually relatively entertaining while they're on the island. That's like a cool kind of setup for me, right? Oh, they got to go back to the island to actually save the dinosaurs because it's going to explode. Okay, I'll watch that for a couple hours, but then they get off the island pretty fast. And then it's the slog of creeping around this mansion with this creepy little girl who's a clone. And that, by the way, is like, to introduce that in the third act, I was like, what? Like, no one's gonna talk about the fact that this kid's a clone of her mother. Like, that's
you saw that coming,
strange.
right? Like, I mean, as soon as she popped up, I was like, oh, there we go. Here we go.
Yeah,
I was having a great time pausing because Jen didn't watch Jurassic World with me, so we were watching this one on the plane to start. I assure you, at some point, I was like, I'm enjoying this too much. We got to watch this on a big screen. And I paused it up, and I kept stopping, and like I was like cracking up when fucking Bryce Dallas Howard's all like, save the dinosaurs, and I'm pausing, I'm like, keep in mind the Flash movie, she fucking hated dinosaurs. She didn't give a shit at all. She should be in jail also. Like, this is great. All right, back to it.
She's directly responsible for a lot of people dying. It's just, I mean, I don't know. I think when you compare the Fast and Furious, I think the next one is going to be an interesting comparison, because that to me is going to be everyone from every movie's back. They're all doing something. Can they get that group family mentality that is the crux of Fast and Furious back? And can we get to a place where me and Tim are over the frickin' moon to watch Ludacris and Tyrese go to space in an old Pontiac Fiero, whatever the fuck that car was.
And that's
where we need to get to with this series.
I agree, and I don't know that we're going to, but the way that this movie ends, I did, as the credits hit, I had a thought of like, I am more excited to watch Dominion now than I was before watching this. Like, I'm like, okay, they're out there. Like, okay, let's go for this.
Arguably, Lost World had the most fucking absurd moment of any of these movies, of the daughter doing gymnastics and kicking a raptor. Like, that's the most absurd moment, I think, of this whole franchise.
How else are you supposed to fight a raptor?
Where, like, that would be something that the Fast and Furious universe would do in Jurassic World. Like, we would see Vin Diesel and a raptor like flying over each other and like fist bumping in midair. Like, it needs to get to that level of absurd for me to laugh along with it, as opposed to just like, this movie is trying to be good and I just can't be there with it. Go ahead, Tim.
I'm right there with you. And while I was watching this, I was talking to Gia and I had a very similar thought where I'm like, I hope, and I don't think it's impossible, that in this next movie, we see Chris Pratt riding Blue. Come on. Just give it to us. Give us some fucking Yoshi action, because that's the type of stupidity I'm looking for here.
Agreed.
I feel like that's
all they could do. Because they've had 4 more movies or 3 more movies now to prove that, to tell a good heartwarming story with characters, and they just haven't done it. So who cares? Let's go crazy. Let's get Blue in space. How do we get Blue in space?
Let's get Blue in space.
What I want is the T-Rex Blue spinoff. Blue and T-Rex, Hobbs and Shaw. That's what I want.
But before we get to the plot, let me tell you about our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by MeUndies. I love MeUndies from head to toe, all over my body. If you don't believe me, of course, right now, I'm wearing the MeUndies shirt. You can tell by the little tag going on right there, right? Got the MeUndies lounge shorts going on. Of course, I got the undies, and then boom, MeUndies socks, baby. That's how we do out here at Kinda Funny. I love being soft head to toe in the micro-modal fabric. You already know all about that, but if you don't, let's face it, summer's sweaty, but your butt doesn't have to be. With MeUndies light and breathable micro-modal fabric, you can stay comfy and cool all summer long. They have super fun seasonal prints and tons of styles to choose from, but if you just like classic black, that's totally cool too. They got a bunch of just bold colors for you to go for. They have super fun seasonal prints, tons of styles, and sizes extra small to 4XL, so you can bring the beach to your butt without ever leaving your living room. MeUndies has a great offer for all of you first-time purchasers. You can get 15% off. If you sign up for their free-to-join membership, you can apply that 15% off to their already discounted membership prices. To get 15% off your first order and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/kindafunny. That's MeUndies.com/kindafunny. Tell them Tim Getty sent you. Shout out to Chime for sponsoring this episode. No one likes waiting on a paycheck, especially when you've got bills due. Good thing there's Chime. Now you can get your paycheck up to 2 days early without direct deposit. That's up to 2 more days to save, pay bills, and generally just feel good about your money situation. But Chime is about more than just getting paid early. It's also an award-winning mobile app, checking account, debit card, and optional savings account. So what are you waiting for? Hopefully not your paycheck. Get started with Chime today. Applying for a free account takes less than 2 minutes. Get started at chime.com/KFgames. That's CHIME.com/KFgames. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank NA. Members FDIC. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer. Get started at chime.com/KFgames. Shout out to Credit Karma for sponsoring this episode. Want a new credit card but not sure how to choose? You don't need to apply for the first offer that you see in the mail. Credit Karma can help you zero in on the right option for you and apply with more confidence. I love Credit Karma. I've been using it for years to check my credit profile, make sure everything is good and on the up and up. Credit Karma uses your credit profile to show you offers that are tailored to your financial situation. Credit Karma partners with a wide range of card issuers, so you can be sure that you're exploring all sorts of options. Best of all, Credit Karma uses your credit data to show you your chances of approval before you even apply, helping you apply with more confidence. Comparing cards on Credit Karma is 100% free and most importantly, will not affect your credit score. That is huge. Credit Karma, create your own karma. Ready to find the right card for you? Head to Credit Karma and check out your personalized mix of offers today. That's creditkarma.com or hit up the Credit Karma app to find the right card for you. That's creditkarma.com.
In this universe you're building, Nick, what are Blue and the T-Rex fighting against? Like,
well, at first they don't like each other, Joey. Their personalities clash. Okay, T-Rex is a very uptight, very clean person, and Blue is just leaving his shit all over the apartment, if you can believe that. And then of course they have to join together and opposites attract to overcome the main villain, which is the Indominus Rex Indosmoke or whatever that dinosaur's called, because he's the bad. Spoilers, I'm the bad guy, as Idris Elba once famously said.
I'm the Black Superman. Welcome to Jurassic Plot.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck.
It was so perfect. Welcome to the plot synopsis for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, or as Jeff Goldblum once famously put it, welcome to Jurassic World, which was just a great line that I'm glad they saved for the end of this pile of dinosaur dung. We start with another big ball. This one's in the ocean, Tim. Maybe,
yeah, you're right.
Maybe in the Mariana Trench, or maybe someplace scary like that. No way, it's actually in the ruins of the old Jurassic World, big old water tank where the megalodon whale dino once was.
Hold on, give me my chance. Hold on, guys. I do my great impression right here.
Go for it.
Oh my god, is that a megalodon? That's Jason Statham in the movie The Meg.
That was great.
Meg.
It's a megalodon.
That was really good. A lot better than your Snape. The guy's gotten better. The two pilots down there are really scared, and one of them's like, "What if there's some dinos left?" He's like, "No, they're all dead by now." Spoilers. The fucking We can see the big whale dinosaur. It's about to eat him up above them. Meanwhile, up on the surface, they radio back to that team, and this guy's like trying to open up the tank and get all this stuff done, and whatever. Then down below, they find the bones of the Indominus Rex because they want to use that to clone from the bone marrow, whatever the DNA left in there. They get that, they float up to the surface, and then I do like to speak to Tim's shots that you were talking about. The shots of the mega whale shark dinosaur.
Megalodon. It's called the Megalodon. It's the Megalodon.
The Mosasaurus is what they call it.
Mosasaurus. Really cool. And then the shot of it like kind of coming up creepily slow behind them. You don't see them die. You just know that they're dead.
It's always cool. A bigger fish.
So there was a controversy here. From the people out in the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom fan club.
The Discord.
All 5 of them.
You know what? I'm going to go find the Discord and I'm going to go talk about it.
It's unclear how the Mosasaurus is still alive despite being trapped in an empty lagoon for years with nobody to feed it. Even the submersible operators comment how anything in the lagoon should have died a long time ago. But Colin Trevorrow, the director of the last movie and the writer of this movie, explained that the beginning of this movie is actually set a week or a month after the first movie and argues it could have eaten the Indominus Rex slowly or picked off any of the pterodactyls that flew too close to the lagoon. The rest of the movie takes place about 3 years later, which would explain how Dr. Wu had enough time to use the bone of the Rex for further cloning experiments. Was that clear to anyone?
No, absolutely not.
Way, shape, or form?
But this is a classic Nick Scarpino movie where I came in and I flipped the switch on my brain. It's off. I don't care. Right. You know what I mean? Like, let's just go. Let's just see what's up.
But
how many times have you been at you've seen a sea wall dividing 2 parts of the sea, and you see stupid fish hop over that all the time? They think they just do the little woo and they go. You know what I mean?
How many times have we been at a sea wall?
I mean, Greg, if I had $1, no, Tim,
fish are dumb. You know, fish are dumb.
That's not clear, and it's not clear from the visual storytelling either. Because when we pull out and we see the park, it's completely destroyed. It looks like it's been years since. Like many years since this park went down, but it doesn't matter. We go back up to the nerd controlling the gates, and he spots the helicopter team, and they are screaming for him to run to them. And he's like, "Why are these guys so frazzled?" Not realizing, I guess, that he's on an island full of Tyrannosaurus Rexes, and of course, one of them chases him off the edge, and he grabs onto the ledge like the Joker from the '89 Batman. And at first you're like, oh, that's great. And then no, it's not great. He ends up getting eaten. But the helicopter team gets away and they have the bone and they radio back. They're like, we got the bone. The package is en route.
We got the bone.
If we want to be angry at the movie or something, I thought it was they got ahead of themselves. They radioed they had the bone before they had the bone. You know what I mean? That was that took me out of the film. Mm-hmm. But then I got right back into it when it was fucking awesome.
That was the immersion breaking part. Okay.
Now
I got back into it when it was fucking awesome. Is what he said.
That's great. That's good. That's what you want from your films. Now, this next part I marked as a potential eye roll from Tim because it's his most favorite storytelling device when a newscaster just kind of catches everyone up on what's going on with the world. And guess what? Dino rights are a pretty big deal right now. Andy.
And here's the fucking thing. Tim, Tim, we can go in tandem on this fucking this issue, right, that we have with film. You hate that they use newscasts to convey information to the audience. I fucking hate when the news in a movie, like, it's so easy to just go around to a local broadcasting station and say, what kind of cameras do y'all use? Why does every newscast in a movie have the best quality camera, fucking IMAX red bullshit? Like, just use a regular shitty camera so it looks a little bit different. It always looks like it's so high quality. I hate it. I fucking hate
BBC, though. BBC does look good lots of times. Not this good, but you're in a movie theater.
But not that. Like, just I hate it. I hate it.
I'm with you. I agree.
Listen. Apparently, all the cameras in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom are red cameras because when we get to the home video that Chris Pratt made 20 years ago or whatever the hell with these fucking velociraptors,
get a cinematography crew.
Stunning. It is stunning 12-bit 444 footage. Yeah, it's incredible.
Now, I will say the thing with the news thing that I want to stand by. I want clear to people. It's not that I hate it when they use news to tell the audience. I hate it when characters in the movie are finding information out from newscasts, right? Yeah. I do think, though, to the credit of this movie, It does it in a way that I'm not too mad about because it's a press conference and the news that's happening, it makes sense that they would find out on the news. I just don't like it when the thing that they need to find out is just coming on the news, with the only exception being The Rock when he says Daddy's got to go to work. But we understand why.
I mean, that was a great.
I just wanted to, Barrett, I've sent it to you. I have joined the Jurassic Discord if anybody wants to come. Looks like it's about
Greg, let me ask this question because I see this a lot. How do these Discords work when you join? Do you just jump into the general and hope to God someone's there?
As you can see there at the bottom, I said, "Who is pumped for Dominion, man?" Because I am. Now, no one's talked on this Discord since May 28th. So I mean, before it's not like
how do you get to be a paleontologist role? That's what I want. That's what I want for you.
That's got to be some sort of admin role. But by the way, that person was playing Rainbow Six, which is pretty cool.
Tim, who is pumped for Dominion, man? Because I am, is what he wrote in that.
God bless
this is what I needed today, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, there's some sort of hearing happening, and thankfully they paid Jeff Goldblum his day rate to come testify in front of them. And the Bloom thinks we should let the dinos die. Again, he brings up all the horrible shit that can happen when you start messing with genetics and DNA and all that stuff. And he's not just talking about dinosaurs. Spoilers, this is foreshadowing for that creepy little girl we're going to meet in about 2 scenes. Cut to Bryce Dallas Howard, and she's now pulled a 180. She wants to save the dinos. She works with a paleo veterinarian named Zia and the kid from Pokemon at the Dinosaur Protection Group, or DPG, as they will never be referred to again. They're never referred to again.
They're all going to die and no one cares, says Bryce Dallas Howard about the dinosaurs.
Yep.
I want that on my
I like
tombstone.
Justice Smith, man. I feel
dude, real talk. I love Justice Smith and I love Daniela as well. Like they got played in this movie. Like it is not cool what they did to them.
Yeah, their characters not that great in this movie.
You talking about Daniela? What else has she been in? Because
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, recently she was in Cowboy Bebop on Netflix, which was not a very well received series.
But she was like the undisputed high point of it.
Okay. Yeah, she's just, unfortunately, these two characters didn't really need to exist in this movie. I don't know. I'm not quite sure why they got thrown in. They just weren't given much to do. Like saving Blue's life and all that stuff. I think you're supposed to feel for all those things, but I'm like, God, who cares?
I did like the comedic gag that Justice Smith just always ended up in a different role as he got pulled from he gets pulled from the one guy to like, hey, you're loading in with us, and he's like, oh fuck, I'm not.
And then you forget about it, and he pops up and he's helping.
At the end, he's like a doctor. Like they're asking him for like 20 cc's or whatever. Like I think that's a funny bit. Yeah. But again, this movie feels like it had so many different parts written by so many different people and never felt cohesive.
Well, I would actually say that Justice Smith is the only person that has chemistry with any of the other people, like one-to-one. Like him and Chris Pratt, I thought had a couple good back and forths.
You good, man? He's like, yeah, how about you? Nope. Like, it's a funny moment.
Yeah, it's good. So those things I think worked for me, but like I think he was, I don't know. I just think the whole dynamic of the group was a little off. And I think a lot of that just stems from Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt just having zero chemistry this go around. Like I know I fought for it last time, but this time I'm like, oof, this is just so boring watching these two act.
And I feel like last time around they tried to make the flirty flirts happen. Like, the writers and stuff. Whereas this I felt like they had already broken up and they still like each other enough or whatever. They want to bang, but they're not trying to like start a family or whatever. And that I thought worked better for me.
Really?
Better than zero, Nick. Better than zero is what it was before. Okay.
To me, it was like watching like your two friends that had dated and are not going to get back together, go out to dinner with you, and you just have to suffer through that awkwardness for 1 hour and 58 minutes. That's
my question for you
is this movie only an hour and 58 minutes long?
I'm sorry, 2 hours. 208. Sorry.
The question for y'all is, I remember liking Bryce Dallas Howard in The Village. I know that I liked her in the Black Mirror episode with all the likes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. However, both Jurassic Worlds make me go, is she a bad actress? Or is it just the material?
She's great in Spider-Man 3.
Oh, I think she was in Spider-Man 3? Wasn't she in The Help? Wasn't she the person? Yeah. She's good in that.
I don't think she's bad. I don't ever hear her say a line and go, ugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know that visceral feeling you get when there's a line delivery and you go, ugh. And
let's put it this way. The guy that played Wheatley, the hunter, was Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. He's great. He can act. And
he was great in this.
He's comically bad. He's just so terrible.
He was great in this.
Those guys stared out performance. Anyway, back to the plot.
Maybe just like action adventure stuff isn't her thing. She needs more like drama.
No, I think it's. I mean, we're
a lot of rumors
sugarcoating this. It's the writing
woman.
of this movie. It's the plot and the writing of this movie that is just completely boring. And I don't know. I mean, these are not bad actors. I mean, Chris Pratt is so fun to watch in Guardians of the Galaxy, both of them, because the acting is good and you care about the people that are in it. And in this one, he's like, I got to care about this imaginary CG thing in front of me called Blue. That anyone with half a brain would be like, that's a fucking killing machine. Why do you care? You should kill this thing. It's going to kill. Every time Blue escapes, I'm like, this is a carnivore. He's going to go eat a person in the next town over. Are we all okay with this? The little kid's like, I had to do it because they're alive, because I'm alive too. I was like, yes, difference. You weigh 80 pounds. They weigh 4,000 pounds, and they're going to fucking kill people.
Maybe they should, Nick. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like Planet of the Apes. Y'all like that, right? When Caesar let all his bros go. What about this woman? This little Caesar over here saying, pizza, pizza. Hit the button. Let it go. You don't know what that's like. You've never been in that situation.
Greg texted me beforehand and said, somehow, some way today, we're going to bring up pizza.
I did not. Don't take a minute from my amazing ad lib there to try to fucking act like that was pre-planned.
That's super fucking
Mission
planned.
success.
He's just planning. All right, we cut over. She's 180, yada, yada, yada. She's working at this thing. But Congress he's like, listen, we got to they recommended to let the dinosaurs die because it's just a massive waste of resources. Plus, they don't know how much they can actually go in. It's private property anyway. It has nothing to do with the United States government. Claire is heartbroken by the decision. Despite the fact that she has called the congressperson and is like, what if your kids don't grow up in a world without dinosaurs? And the congressperson's like, my kids are on their fucking cell phones all day. They don't give a shit about dinosaurs. They care about TikTok. That's all they care about. Thankfully, Benjamin Lockwood's estate calls at just that precise moment. It's like, Claire, you're getting called up to the big leagues. She heads over there, and this place is creepy as shit. Clearly, nothing bad has ever happened here, like the cloning of a small child. Pretty sure they used this specific house as either Wayne Manor or the Professor X mansion at some point, but I digress.
Definitely looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, enter. I feel like, it looks a lot like the one from First Class, but that's now that I'm thinking about that, that's probably different. Also, a lot of this shit looks CG, so maybe they just. CG
I thought actually that house is in Canada, I believe, the X-Men one.
What about this one?
This one, also? Maybe I just believed the movie when it said Northern California.
I don't think we saw a single exterior of this that looked at all real.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure it's CG. But it doesn't matter. Enter Eli Mills, reintroduces himself because they met before, and we get some exposition that Hammond used to actually work with Lockwood before Jurassic Park, and they had a breakup. We don't know why. Mills wants Claire to help save the dinos and transport them to a sanctuary on a safe island. Claire spots a little girl running around, and Lockwood says, "Oh, that's Lockwood's granddaughter. Don't worry about that.
She has a granddaughter.
She's not a clone at all. Yeah,
but they're close, very close.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the words that this man said about this small girl.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They're close, Tim.
Very close.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What,
cool,
I think it's the butt in there that really adds this.
That lets you know
it's
not a normal kind of relationship. You know what I mean? Right. That's a colonial relationship. There's more than meets the eye to this relationship with this grandfather who won't let her look at her fucking photos of her mom.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's. Why won't you let me see a picture of my mom? That would be every question I ever asked this person. I would not do anything unless you did that. Mills tells Claire.
Hold on, Nick. The mansion we're talking about actually hasn't been used as Wayne Manor or the X Mansion. This is in Northumberland, over in the UK, right? And they say here that it's also been used by film crews and TV. Among them, Alan Wick Castle doubled as Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry in the first two Harry Potter films. Meanwhile, the cast and crew of the ITV detective show Vera are often in the country.
Wait, what was it in Hogwarts? That's weird. I'll have to look that up. That's cool. Right on, Greg. Thank you for checking on that. And also,
great job, Greg.
I owe you $5 for being able to work in Pizza.
Don't do that. You're taking away from my humor. I did not do that.
You did. I got the text message to prove it.
Show the text right now, tough guy.
I got my phone's not here. I don't know where. I don't have my phone. I don't have my phone. I can't
believe I went and found out about Northumberland for you, and this is how you're gonna do it.
I can't believe we let Northumberland go out without making fun of it. Mills tells him that Lockwood's daughter died in a car crash, and so he's taking care of his granddaughter. Iris is there too. She's creepy. Mills wants them to head to the park and use her handprint to access the RFID chips and all the dinos, but time is the essence, and no matter what, they're going to have some issues getting Blue because he is SMRT smart.
Blue is potentially the second most intelligent life in this planet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
these are the type of lines that I wish the movie backed up. Like, it's that Fast and Furious shit Andy's talking about. It's like, God, this is so stupid. Have fun with it. And I feel like that second part is where I'm like, oh, no, we're just getting family photos of this
because
thing.
Everybody's so serious about it. Like,
yeah.
If it was Ludacris saying that, I'd be like, this is the best movie of all time.
And he goes, well, we need some help. We thought you might know someone who could help. And she's like, I do. So we catch up with good old Owen building his own house in the middle of nowhere. And I think to myself, how's the plumbing going to work for this? Where are you going to poop? Did you do all the plumbing for this? Is it a septic tank situation? This makes me uncomfortable. I'm not staying in this house for longer than a day. I have to have a Starbucks to poop at. He tells Claire to stay the heck away from that island full of dinosaurs that's about to explode. And she goes, even if that means Blue dies? And he's like, what?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
100%. Yeah.
I don't care. Of course, then later that night, Owen watches, is dressed exactly like Han Solo in some old video that's incredibly clear 4K cinematic footage of baby Blue and her siblings. So, of course, he shows up the next day on the plane. I do like this setup where she's waiting for him. And she's like, I guess he's not coming. They get on the plane and just been there the whole time sleeping. He's like, what took you guys so long?
Nick, I don't understand how you can't suspend your disbelief at the technological advancements to clone dinosaurs and have gyroscopes you can control, but you don't think that maybe the iPhone in that world, in that splinter group, that technology is also that impressive.
I mean, listen, every time I see video from an Android phone, I think, man, this really is the next generation of phone technology. Maybe Tim's wrong. So of course,
what a weird way to deviate to just swing on Tim. I thought you were gonna leave me swing back on me. You just turn around and swing on him. I was like, is Andrew?
You know what happened?
We're gonna back up Andy. We're gonna get Andy off the bench and get him excited. No, we're just gonna swing on Tim.
We just listen.
He's playing hurt, everybody.
What happened is this. I got the script right here, and Tim's video is right next to it, and I looked over, saw the mustache, and I was like, I gotta take a swing real quick. I love the mustache. I think the mustache should stay, but I can't. The older brother in me is like, I gotta say something about it.
Like, you might say something lovely to Tim, and then you look at him again, and you do one of these like, fuck you.
Oh, anyway, over at the Lockwood Mansion, Iris has lost Maisie, and man, I'm glad they brought kids back to this series. That's what every series should have, man. Just a standout crowning jewel of all these movies and these creepy little fucking kids running around.
I think she's great. I think like this is one of the better young actors I've seen in a long time. I think her line delivery is great. Even her, like, we all hate fake laughs. I think her fake laugh when she scares the old lady, fantastic. Good job on the fake laugh. One of the better fake laughs I've seen.
Wow. Andy Cortez giving a fake laugh applause.
Yeah, is it real? I don't know. Faking laughs with Andy O.
we got a PlayStation reaction of it.
Fair enough. Let's see. Maisie and Lockwood have a good relationship. Iris wants to know why, if she looks like her mother, and he's like, "Oh, you're a spitting image." Claire and the team hit Isla Nublar, and they spare us the indignity, thank God, of playing the theme as they approach for the 900th time. Wait, is that the actor that played Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs? Put this at number 1. I wrote, Ken Wheatley is the leader. What a great name for the leader of the Mercs. I'm Ken Wheatley.
Yeah.
Ken Wheatley.
I did like the on the plane where he said, I rode my motorcycle through the jungle with a pack of raptors, and then Justice Smith said we're not compatible. I thought that was like kind of funny, but it also reminded me of Jurassic World. I loved that scene because that was stupid as shit. And it was like the idea of Chris Pratt being a raptor trainer, like that's the type of shit where I'm like, all right, I'm in. That is dumb as fuck. Make it fun. And I want to see him ride one of these things. Please.
Compounded with the fact that he was in the Marines, and somehow that qualifies him to be a raptor trainer.
He's an animal behaviorist now, or whatever that.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
They land and push through the ruins of the park. Let's see, which conjures up good memories and bad memories for everyone. Justice Smith, of course, has another fun little thing here where he offers everyone bug spray. And he's worried about T-Rexes as well. So bugs, both big and small. But that rumble off in the not so distance is not a T-Rex. It's a Brontosaurus. And Zia is overcome with emotion, seeing a dinosaur that she studied her entire life in real life for the first time. Cool shot here. They come to the comm center.
We don't need to actually do a podcast within a podcast, but we could have ranked the initial dinosaur scene where we get the music and like someone seeing one for the first time. And I think this would be dead last.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Jake Johnson crawled, all right, so Justice Smith could run in this film. I'll have you guys know, all right?
Oh man, they head to the comm center and fire up the old system, and they spot Blue, and so Owen and Zia decide to go after her, and he's like, "Why are you coming?" She's like, "Just in case Blue needs medical attention." Sure, that makes sense. Claire wants them to be safe, and Chris Pratt has, I think, the only laugh that I got out of him in this entire movie. He says, "Listen, if I don't make it back, remember, you're the one who brought me here." And then smiles like only Chris Pratt can smile. It's funny. They head in by foot so as not to spook Blue, and Owen finds him first. Owen tries to feed Blue some beef jerky or some shit and just throws it at his nose. It does not work.
That made me laugh.
It's weird. So he tames the beast with his little clicker, and unfortunately, Wheatley prematurely darts her. Blue freaks and attacks one of the mercs. And I gotta be honest, this scene, hilarious to me. Because Blue is scraping a man's face off, and Wheatley's like, "Don't shoot!" Whatever you do, just take it, you bitch. What
have you not noticed? I mean, this is the first introduction, I guess, of it, but like again, like these are one-note character bad guys. They are in it for the money. It does not matter. When everyone flees the auction, running for their lives, Wheatley walks back and he goes, "I need my bonus." It's like, fucking send an invoice, man. Get the fuck out of there. What are you doing?
Pay me my bonus.
Why does this guy care so much about bones?
Man, I don't know. It's so weird. Anyway, they end up shooting Blue, who I must say bounces back from a bullet wound very quickly in this movie.
They pull it out, remember? That's all you need to do with the bullet.
Sure, that's all you gotta do for a bullet wound.
Transfuse, get that out.
Blue gets darted. Owen gets pissed off, and then Wheatley just doesn't even hesitate. He darts Owen, and they grab Blue. Zia, of course, stays with him because she's like, the animal's dying. If you really want it, I gotta stay with it, and so don't kill me. And she buys herself some time.
Also,
Claire,
like, do we not? It seems like the amount of tranquilizer in this dart would kill Owen if it's meant for a dinosaur.
Sure.
Like, there's no. I don't. 100%.
And not only that,
scaling.
Boy, it was half of it.
I want to throw this out there, though.
It was
she pulls when they pull it out,
that's
half
right.
in there. But it's also, remember, Zia pointed out, like, they're all shooting from the hip and just doing whatever. They could kill the dinosaurs too. They don't know what they're doing out there with stuff.
So they put down Blue probably weighs somewhere upwards of what you have to imagine 500-600 pounds, maybe 400 to 500 pounds.
More than that.
More than that, probably 500 pounds. We'll say 500 pounds. They dart him. He's out for a solid day. Owen gets darted with half of that. He weighs roughly, you got to figure a third of that weight, and he's up in 5 minutes. God bless him.
I'm kind of just shocked at like the unbelievable aspect that if you're gonna be this evil and do crimes like this, you gotta assume there's somewhat of a paper trail. Like, how are you gonna hide that you took these people to fake them out? And then you like trained the dude and left him there to die. Like, this escalated so fast.
Well, what's even crazier, Andy,
and like, there's no way you can hide this from like authorities. People are gonna find out what's going on here.
They're gonna burn up on the island. It's over.
There's a moment where the guy goes, "Listen, we're getting all these animals off this island, and we're gonna sell them." And he goes, "Well, how much do you think we could sell them for?" He goes, "We have 11 dinosaurs, and we're going to sell them for $4 million a piece."
Like, that's
and it reminds me of that scene in Austin Powers where he's like, $1 million. And everyone's like, "What?" It's not a lot of money.
That much, yeah.
It's so weird. They ended up making like $124 million off of this, which would be like a fraction of what they would need to get this business back and rolling, but whatever. Let's see. Turns out Mills is a dick, and he's in cahoots with Wheatley. And spoilers, it's all about the money. The animals are heading to the Lockwood Mansion, not the sanctuary that he thought they were, that he told them was. Owen gets woken up by a Triceratops' tongue, and you can just smell it. You can smell that tongue.
Terrible CG. Good Lord.
So it was around this that I wrote down, I can't believe how bad this is.
Yeah. Now, it's about to get great because let me tell you, if you guys think we're going to get to the point where we have to rank the antagonists to this movie, right? We call it Ragu Bagu. We could do it right now if you guys want to, but I'm going to inception this idea into Greg's little pea brain. Greg, I want you to fall asleep right now, and I want you to dream about the antagonist of this movie, the lava. The lava is the real bad guy the entire time. Greg, wake up. Who's the bad guy in this movie?
You know, the guy, the former fat kid from Shaun of the Dead.
Okay, yeah. It didn't work. It didn't work.
Lava is a standout, you know what I mean? And we get this great comedic scene with Chris Pratt rolling around on the ground. Like, come on, guys.
Stupid.
When you fucking like, I think Nick, as a student of cinema, you'll agree with me that the days of Charlie Chaplin and Abbott and Costello have been gone for too long. Chris Pratt is bringing it back in this film, ladies and gentlemen.
Long live vaudeville. Meanwhile, anyway, Claire and Franklin get stuck, and they get a proximity alert. Something's coming down this massive tube-shaped hole that's just big enough for a big fucking dinosaur to come down for no damn reason. And meanwhile, the lava is just everywhere. Spoilers, this is not a T-Rex. It's another one of those, the other movie. It's whatever from the other movie. So they head up the ladder to the hatch. This thing tries to bite them, but it doesn't. And Franklin falls back down and screams, and you know what? Whatever. But then
well, let's just move on.
Whatever, let's move on. But they manage to make it up and shut the hatch. One problem, the island is erupting all around them. From the distance, Owen screams for them to run as a stampede of dinosaurs follows.
It's a stampede! Anybody else think that, Jumanji?
No.
Didn't think that, but yeah, it did have that vibe with his fucking goofy ass run.
Really
like Rising running like Johnny Depp in freaking which one was it? The Whole New World or whatever.
I honestly, Tim, I thought about this a lot. I think it's the shirt. I think it's just anytime you wear a shirt that's not a normal shirt, you look funny running in it. Same with vests. You got a vest on, you could look goofy running. Don't try it.
Should take it off when you start running.
Exactly. Plus, we all know about the benchmark for awesome running in movies is anytime Tom Cruise gets that high step, bro. So don't even fucking try it, Owen. Don't even try it. They take refuge behind some logs, and one of those big balls is there too in the last movie. So Owen makes them all get in, but then another T-Rex like dino catches them. Thankfully, Triceratops intervenes and gets the ball rolling.
He said ball.
As the ball starts rolling, Owen tries to get in, but it gets locked out. Solution: the actual T-Rex comes in and snaps wannabe T-Rex's neck, and then just gingerly goes off about his day. I guess I'll go over here now, Andy.
Dude, this whole thing's funny. Now, I know you guys are all asking, is this the same T-Rex from the other movies? The answer is yes. Screenwriter said that the Rexy/Roberta, depending on what part of the fan base you fall in, Greg, you have a tough decision to make here, because back in the day, all the behind-the-scenes people called the animatronic Roberta for this T-Rex. But the modern fans, which I don't know which one you are these days, they call her Rexy. But this is in fact the same.
I'm sorry, maybe I stuttered before. Let the past be the past. Kill it if you have to, Uncle Ben. All right? Like, that's what Kylo Loren says, and that's what we're rolling with, all right? They're calling him Sexy Rexy. This is Sexy Rexy. Or if they called him Ruffles Roberto.
Greg, I need you to make your stance known in the Discord, the Jurassic Discord, please.
Yeah, so what am I picking? What name?
There's Team Rexy or Team Roberta.
What's my opinion?
I'm with the new kids. I'm with Saved by the Bell, the new class.
Okay,
Screech is the assistant principal. What fucking am I calling the dinosaur?
Rexy.
T-Rex is Rexy.
I also knew that it was the same T-Rex because I saw.
Oh, I just advanced to level 1. There's levels to this Discord.
Wow, congrats! I saw one of those sort of like fucking interviews, Tim, where they like the press are interviewing the actors, and it was Jeff Goldblum and the T-Rex, and they were both being interviewed, and they're like, "It's great to be back in this universe. Like, it's great to return."
Yeah.
Everyone jumps off the cliff, including Owen and a bunch of dinos who can't swim. Only now Franklin and Claire are trapped in the ball, and it's filling with water and the lava. Owen uses a handgun at first to blast holes in the ball, but it clearly doesn't work because it's underwater, so he has to switch to plan B, watching the life slowly drain out of Claire's eyes as she drowns to death. JK, he uses a knife to pry this plexiglass open, and it just opens up, and they all swim ashore and realize the whole plan was to get them there was a lie. They head over to the docks where Wheatley and his men are loading dinos on a barge like Noah's Ark. Apparently, they got the T-Rex there pretty fast, too, by the way, because he comes back in this, if I'm not mistaken. I have no idea how they got him from point A to point B, because this whole scene happens in like 10 minutes, but whatever.
Let me nitpick for a second. I know it's a crazy thing. No one can imagine me doing that, but I understand the whole suspend your disbelief and all that shit, especially with a movie with dinosaurs that have been cloned and all that. But this whole gyrosphere, its sole purpose is to protect people from dinosaurs. And you're telling me that the solution underwater is to pop this thing open with like Kevin's freaking knife he carries around? Like,
not gonna happen.
It's just, it's like such a weird thing. I'm like, why are you actively trying to get me to question the stupidity of this movie? Like, it's
dumb.
I really thought I thought when he busts out the knife, he was going to go at the weakness from the bullet holes.
Yeah, me too.
In the glass, and he just Prise it open.
That would have made so much more sense. But sorry, nitpick over. Continue.
No, that's what we were all thinking, unfortunately. Wheatley pulls the Stegosaurus's tooth out for some reason because he's a psycho, and they spot Zia being held captain, so they steal a truck and jump it onto the boat as it pulls away from the dock.
All right, look, here's the thing. I just talked a lot of shit about something. It immediately is followed up with the opposite of a nitpick. I don't fucking know what it's called, but a little shout out. I want to give a shout out to Chris Pratt's little tiny binoculars. Like, they're the smallest binoculars I have ever fucking seen.
Tim, look it. You don't when you got it where it counts, you don't need big binoculars. You don't need to be flaunting that out there to everyone. I mean, me and Greg, tiny little binoculars. Andy, huge binoculars. We'll just put it that way. Everyone looks back at it.
For you know.
I don't know, man.
Probably being slow.
On this earth or on this continent? We don't know.
This continent. We all know he's pretty fast in England.
Everyone looks back at the island as a sad, lone Bronchiosaurus cries for help. Ooh! The poor animal is just engulfed in smoke and the
what
lava.
kind of noises they make?
It's either it's Brontosaurus or it's Brachiosaurus. There's no Bronchio ever. Like, god damn it, dude.
It doesn't matter. This is where Tim's like, I didn't care about any dinosaurs. You didn't care about this old long neck burning to death.
Dude,
And he calls out, he's like, wait for me.
Yeah, yo, it is the like this motherfucker slowly dying is like it's the most I felt this entire movie, and like it is so ridiculously sad that it comes out of nowhere. Like it's so, like they let it linger, and he just gets engulfed by the smoke, and it's like they let you sit on it long enough that you start thinking about his family, you start thinking about like his desires and his goals.
What
Joey,
was he gonna grow up to be?
That's the thing. What was your takeaway from this scene? Because I thought about you as I was watching it. I was like, I can't wait to hear what Joey has to say about this.
A couple different things. The first thing that I thought was, oh man, I thought this was the last scene of the movie, but apparently it happened halfway through. So now I completely I don't know why I thought that like it just ended when they got off the island, and then I forgot about the whole auction and everything. Clearly didn't care about the last half of the movie the first time I saw it.
Yeah, because it's bad.
Second of all, it is. I thought they did a good job of like the smoke, but like the light from the lava behind, I guess, or the sun, I don't know. And you like see them like just wandering around. But I still was just so annoyed that Claire is like, oh, I'm so sad. And we just left him there. And I'm just like, you just didn't give a fuck about these dinosaurs. And now you do. And I don't buy any of this character development. I hate this. I really hate this character.
Joey, she's been through a lot. A lot of things have happened. Like, what you needed to do, Joey, you needed to watch the animated shorts on YouTube that sort of show you the in-between. Disney Plus.
Where I just get to watch her and Owen fight about who left who for like 17 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Part of this whole movie I cared about.
And they got over it pretty quick, you know?
Over at the Lockwood Manor, Mills meets with Dick Eversole so they can arrange the sale of the dinosaurs they snatched on the island and get some seed money for their operation, which is happening below the mansion, which, you guessed it, is to make the ultimate hunter so they can weaponize it. Introducing the Indoraptor, who occasionally, I'm going to apologize to you guys right now because it was late last night when I started writing this. And man, I just thought it was so funny to call this thing Indosmoke. So that's what we're going to call it from now on.
Thank you, Greg.
I don't know why.
Respect.
There you go.
Where is this from, Nick? Why are you saying that?
Indosmoke, just an old line from a Snoop Dogg song.
Oh, okay.
Indosmoke, pass me the joint so I can take a toke.
Like indica? Like, is that what they're?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I mean, I'm not quite sure. I'm not up on my drug lingo. That's what we have Snowback Mike for. But yeah, we can call him later and figure that out. Mm-hmm.
Greg, can you also start playing the Sarah McLachlan song? I feel like that's what we really need.
Greg, can you ditch yourself out of this and let me do the voice of what the Bronchiosaurus sounds like? Boy, that didn't work at all.
Get out of the lava, Greg.
Ready? Here we go. Ready?
Where it is right now, it looks like the T-Rex head is its head.
Oh yeah.
All right, Greg, you can come back in. The joke didn't play that well.
Thank you. I want to give you more live updates from the Jurassic Discord. A whole bunch of kind of funny best friends jumped in there, and we've been talking Jurassic Park. But then one person who was here before named Patrick18 pops up and just goes, "Why?" There's like 900 messages on his previously dead Discord.
Awesome. You guys asked for it because you know why? Because we keep seeing these fucking movies. That's why. Let's see. Mills, yada yada yada. Maisie, of course, just has nothing better to do than spy on all these people. Hears all about it and tries to tell Grandpapa, but the old codger is not having it. He's like, go to bed. She's like, no, literally, there's a mutiny happening down below. And they're probably gonna snuff your ass up with a fucking pillow in a couple minutes. But whatever, you deserve to die, James Cromwell. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Hey, this pillow will do it all over your fucking face. Also, for some reason, Lockwood will not show her a picture of her mother, which is strange and not at all suspect. Zia tries to save Blue, but Owen and Zia come to help. They need a blood fusion, and Blue has to be from a carnivore. By the way, it can't be from one of the herbivores. I don't know how dinosaur blood works, but apparently you just got to have something that eats meat. Thankfully, there's one on board, a T-Rex, and the T-Rex is tranked. So Claire rides it like a bull. And they
is this
milk
the
it
same
for its blood.
T-Rex or is this a different T-Rex?
Same T-Rex because it has the same scarring on it, I believe.
This is one of 5 animatronic dinosaurs created for this movie. Unlike Jurassic World, which only featured one.
Then they get locked in with a T-Rex, and it's really scary. I kind of like this scene. Claire escapes to the bars and rescues Owen by opening up the thing, and they lock the T-Rex as soon as it wakes up. Meanwhile, Maisie hacks the planet and discovers the underground lab where they're watching old videos of Owen, where no one is just randomly watching old videos of Owen. It's just playing when she goes down there. Who's like, Delta's really scary, but Blue loves me. He's so cuddly. He's like nothing he's unlike any other velociraptor I've ever met before. Hey, Owen, how many have you met before? This is the fucking first one.
Greg's impression earlier was so good. Like the little cry. I'm so scared.
Zia manages to get the bullet out of Blue's leg, and Maisie sees Mills and evil Dr. Wu arguing over Blue's health. Indoraptor needs a mama because the prototype has no emotions. It's just a killing machine and it needs empathy and obedience. So that's why we need Blue so badly. And I'm like, that is a stretch if I've ever fucking seen one.
But sure.
That is a stretch.
Sure. Maisie sneaks around and almost gets her face clawed off by Indoraptor number 0. Everyone leaves the boat and heads up to the Lockwood estate. All the dinos get herded into the garage. T-Rex gets I love this little, as T-Rex is getting out, he's got a little goat snack. Did you guys catch that? Like he eats a goat. Yeah, cool. Clearly someone's like, I'm a huge fan of the Jurassic Park movies, so we got to have a couple Easter eggs in there.
Boy, Billy.
There it is, Billy. Lockwood gets mad at Mills for doing all this stuff because Mills finally has to come clean. He's like, you have to call the police. And Mills like, are you fucking crazy? I'm going to kill you right now. That's what I'm going to do. Then he smothers him with a pillow. Owen and Claire get captured by Weekly and locked up.
The very dramatic Amber cracking.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, this was unnecessary.
I do love that he has the same amber cane that Hammond had. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know if it's the same one or if they just made them both together.
This huge retcon that just like John wanted. They should be free and do it. No, John wanted to fucking make money off these guys. What are you talking about? John wasn't doing this as like some kind of philanthropic thing.
It's wild because I don't know if there was a whole lot of backstory with how long Fat Kid for Shaun of the Dead was involved in all of this.
Well, he used to be young, remember they said.
Was he the fat kid?
He was the fat kid.
He used to be young. Remember that.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's just such a crazy extreme change for this dude who has been around. Like, there didn't seem to be a whole lot of regret. Like, I don't know. It's just wild that it'd be understandable if this dude was brand new to this family for the last year or something like that. And maybe this is part of the plan all along, but it feels like he's kind of known these people for a long time and suddenly he just becomes the murderer. And it's just a crazy.
He's thinking now.
He said he was plucked out of college, I think, by Lockwood. That's how long he's been working for them because Lockwood wanted someone, and Hammond wanted someone that was like cutting edge.
He's been there for like 15 years, maybe.
Yeah. So he also throws it back. I mean, you have to imagine the rift happened because he even throws it back into Lockwood's face right around the time Lockwood decided to clone his fucking daughter and not tell anyone. That's probably one of those things where I was like, oh, you're a psychopath, so I'm going to do whatever I want now.
What I need here is the type of thing where the killing is almost accidental, where Lockwood is like, You can't be doing this. I'm calling the police, and he's like, no, you better not fucking call the police. And then like a struggle happens, and then maybe he like kills him because he's just like scared.
He pushes him and he hits his head on something.
Exactly. Yeah. But now it just becomes like, gotta kill you, man. Sorry. And it's like,
this is a bad guy. All right, he's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild.
Maisie breaks herself out and watches as rich people arrive to bid on the dino. She sneaks into her grandpa's room, discovers him dead, so she grabs his journal and pulls a Webster. And if you get that reference, you were born in the 80s. Mills fires Iris despite her having raised both Maisie and her mother. Maisie finally looked. Greg, do you get that reference that I just did?
I did.
Good. The dumb waiter.
Yeah,
How come we couldn't make a smart waiter?
What?
It'll make
What?
They really don't. The little thing that she gets in. Webster used to do that all the time in the show. Get the dumb waiter, go up.
What?
And down.
Who's Webster?
The old
my
TV
God,
show.
Andy.
I also don't
Can
know
you do
who
a little
Webster
bit
is.
of fucking history?
Like-
Can
like
you watch
Daniel
it
Webster?
night once in a while? You watch a documentary like I Love the 80s or something.
Daniel Webster?
Instead, you just go home and you play your fucking computer games and you forget. History repeats itself. You're
I
gonna
don't
come
need
in
to
one day
watch more stuff.
We're doing Webster in review. We're doing Webster in review.
No, we're not.
Webster, the whole series. Whatever. You guys can Google it later if you want. Let's see. Mills fires Iris despite raising Maisie and her mother. Maisie finally looks at the picture of her mother, and this confused the shit out of me when I first saw this, because I was like, I think she's a clone. But then we look, and it's a younger Iris and the same actress that plays Maisie, and you're like, all right, so I'm supposed to infer from this that this is the mother, even though it was just very weird. It just looked like very. It threw me off for a second, but I was like, oh, I get it. She's a clone. I'm not stupid. Claire tries to take responsibility for all this meth, but Owen's like, listen, I got a cabin to finish. We're getting out of here. Thankfully, next door was one of those ram dinos, and it just woke up. Bidding downstairs starts on the Ankylosaurus, known by paleontologists as the living tank, which is now how I'm going to refer to Greg. Soon, all the specimens are sold, and Owen and Claire use the ram dino to break out. Maisie remembers Owen from the Blue video, and they bond.
Big fan of how the tank dino, ram dino, whatever we're about to call it, goes from being like this
Ankylosaurus.
fucking ram
that's
dino.
a different one. The Ankylosaurus is like a big old tank looking.
Oh, you're talking about the Pachycephalosaurus.
We're talking about the ram dino.
You just said a lot of syllables very quickly.
I appreciate how he goes from being this like doofy ass dinosaur that you can just in 2 seconds dodge and like it doesn't matter. He can break the wall, he can break the thing, to then just being like a killing throwing machine. He's just dominating all these rich fuckers at the auction.
What was he dealing with Chris Pratt, man? And it was the most video game like Spider-Man tutorial I've ever seen. With like
see
your
like
the rhino,
square button pop up and have
the quick time, and Chris Pratt jumps up with the little like door of the jail and he hits through. It's like, all right, cool, Andy. I need to give you credit where credit's due. That was the most impressive fucking name drop ever. I was like, and I know throughout this franchise you've been doing that, but like the speed at which you said that shit. Woo!
I was like ram dino, and Andy said, "Oh, you're talking about the Pachycephalosaurus," and I thought he was joking. And then I googled it, and I was like, "Wow, that is the actual name of that dinosaur." We're gonna call him ram dino from now on. Too hard to say. They go down and they spy on the auction as Eversol introduces the Indo smoke to the crowd, the perfect weapon for the modern age, unless it goes against anything with the high-powered assault rifle, in which case it'll probably just get put down like a fucking cow. Man, this thing has it all: hyper intelligence, laser guided targeting with the help of sound, and 2 cup holders for you and your passenger. Owen wants to stop them from ever letting the Indo smoke out, so once again he lists the awesome power of the fucking Pachycephalosaurus, and all hell breaks loose. All the bad guys run, and Wheatley tries to dart Indo smoke so he can steal one of his teeth, and he's like, "Tony, I want my bonus."
I did
fucking strange.
I did like the shot of the sort of camera going around the room with people flying like through the crowd because they're getting hit by the Packy. Like they're just kind of flying through the air because they're getting rammed, but it's really funny looking.
Spoilers though, man. The Indoraptor's not stupid. He knows exactly what dart technology is. He's been darted before, and he's like, I'm gonna play sleepy, so I can bite Wheatley's arm off and then bite his face off and watch him cry and spit stuff all over me before I eat him. Then we get the fun gag with Eversol in the elevator where he's like, whew, we got out of that real quick. And then by just random happenstance, the Indoraptor's tail breaks open the elevator and everyone gets eaten.
No, it touches like the heat like button, right, to call the elevator again.
I don't know. It hit the thing and sparks came out, and then it opened up the elevator door.
Oh,
that's all I know. That's how I remember it. That's how I choose to remember it.
A fact here is that, once again, Colin Trevorrow explained that all the death scenes are rightly deserved this time, stating, "We made sure that every death was earned. Everybody deserves their death in this movie. A lesson learned from our first film. In 2018, everyone earns it. They're all horrible people." So
Not like the assistant who was just doing her job. Who
Just
then
doing
got,
a job, man.
Yeah, but that's like, you know what? That's so insulting to the audience too, right? In that you're basically just assuming the audience. I mean, you're basically not telestrating, but like
telegraphing. You're telegraphing your moves, where it's like, okay, so now I'm going into
only bad people can die. Right?
I'm going into Dominion, and even though they say this is the final chapter, like I'm not worried about Chris Pratt dying.
No,
like,
not at all. Because
what I would have loved,
they have to hold the audience's hand.
What I would have loved is a little retconning, or not retconning, but just adding on to the lore and being like, oh my God, these people are buying these dinosaurs to sell to warmongers, just like your old assistant was doing behind your back. And you go, oh, good, she deserved that death.
She deserved to die, yeah. Let's see. Mills tells Owen and Claire the real score about Maisie. She's a clone of Lockwood's daughter. That's what drove Lockwood and Hammond apart. Wu and his team clear out the lab and want some raptor blood, despite Zia telling him the raptor blood is tainted by all that T-Rex goo. Franklin darts Wu, and Zia releases Blue to kill some merc ass. This is where Blue just becomes a human being, who was like, I will kill who I choose and leave who I don't want to leave.
Blue at any moment is gonna pop up doing the fucking no, fucking Caesar in Planet of the Apes.
You give me, you give it 3 more movies, and we're gonna get the scene with Smart Hulk where kids are trying to come up to Blue, take pictures of him, and Owen's gonna be like, I was.
Blue's like, can you hold the phone?
I
don't got thumbs. My closet.
Let's see. The lab explodes, but Blue somehow makes it out alive because Blue's smart enough to understand that inert gas explodes, and then
from it, again, second smartest thing on the planet. Just let it go.
But I love that they had that line of dialogue. The setup for this scene that we needed is that he is the second smartest. She is the second smartest creature on this fucking planet. And how do they use that? Oh, they see the gas. Does this goofy ass fucking velociraptor run out as things explode? It was so fucking stupid.
I need this fucking raptor find out the cure for cancer or something.
Yeah. Come on, man. Let's go.
I misinterpreted that line. I think I didn't understand that when that line happened. I thought they were talking about the island. I thought they said it's the second most smart creature on the island. To me, I was like, oh, okay. That makes sense. But then you all say world, like, whoa, I didn't remember the line.
T-Rex?
I think
when you heard that line.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they meant human beings.
Well, no. You're all jumping out of the plane too fast. I not for the world, for when they're talking about the island. I was wondering what Andy thought number one.
I was thinking maybe the Indominus or the Indoraptor, whatever the fuck.
I want you all to know I accept your apologies for jumping down my throat too fast in that one. Nick, Tim, and Joey.
I accept your apology, and I'd like you to accept my apology for not queuing up faster on your plan for the Pizza Joe. Let's see. The lab explodes. Owen, Claire, and Maisie sneak around upstairs and almost get killed by endo smoke, but they make it to the attic where they turn off the lights. Franklin and Zia notice the toxic gas has to save, and they want to save the dinosaurs, but they're all choking. And they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Let's reboot the system. The lights come back on, and it screws over Claire and Owen. They go upstairs and get chased back into the dumbwaiter. She hides in. Maisie hides in her bed while endo smoke climbs up onto the roof and then goes delicately through her bedroom window and then proceeds to slowly and creepily taunt her. And it's scary and weird. Thankfully, Owen knows how to shoot a gun straight, and he bursts in and he starts popping caps in Raptor's ass. But oh no, he doesn't know how to check his magazine for how many bullets are left because only 3 go into it. And he's like, now I'm mad. But he runs out of ammo once again. Blue has to come get the fucking job done. The fight finds Owen and Maisie on the roof, squared off against Indo as it tries to walk across the atrium glass. Claire saves their bacon with the rifle scope, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. She's gonna, I guess, use the laser pointer on this hyper intelligent being to get him to go chase after Chris Pratt so he can run underneath it as it jumps and then goes through the glass. And then, oh wait, I forgot though, she has to use the sonic boom sound effect, or else this thing doesn't do anything. So that's how this action played out.
What if you train it on itself?
Good point. Maybe it has to claw its own fucking face off like it did that
we
one
don't
guy.
just point it at the glass and hope that it just attacks the glass.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, me too. That would have been smart. But no.
But it's smart enough to know it's not a living being. Like I think it's like, I don't know. I think if you just, I don't think it just is this mindless kind of targeting system. I think it knows like, oh, I'm gonna go kill that thing. You know,
Andy, we're 3 movies away from this thing being Weapon X with the fucking thing on its face and the packs hanging off and it just being controlled telepathically. We don't know. Anyway, this thing tries to fall through the glass. Tries to fall through the glass and it's like, no, I'm not stupid. I can climb. And then of course Blue has to come in one more time to get the job done.
Fatality.
Damn thing into the Triceratops skull below, stabbing it and killing it.
I love Blue on top of it as the spikes are impaled, and Blue's kind of looking around like, "Oh fuck, I did it! Like, that's crazy. Didn't know how this was gonna go." when I'm jumping, I'm just kind of like hoping for the best. Honestly,
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Z and Franklin are like, hey, we got another problem. We got that gas buildup going on downstairs in the holding cells. Apparently, these dinosaurs can breathe gas for a really long time because you have to imagine they've been down there for at least a half hour. Doesn't matter. They start doing the who's he what's it's, and and Claire's about to hit the button to let them all out. And Owen says, "You press that button, there's no going back." And she says,
fucking hate that line.
She's like, "I can't let them die." But then she stops herself.
You're right. Maybe all of humanity should be prioritized over these
5 dinosaurs, the 5 remaining dinosaurs that. Whatever. Then they all watch in horror as the dinosaurs asphyxiate below. Then suddenly the door opens and they look over and it's Maisie, who has made this executive decision. A girl who's never been outside of this mansion and who might be twisted by the fact that she's a clone of her mother is now in the right mind and said, I have to. They're alive. Like me.
Like me.
I honestly think that this 1 minute is the worst single minute in any of the Jurassic movies. Like the dialogue, the way that it's shot, the way that it is kind of presented to us, where having Bryce Dallas Howard be like, I can't let this happen, and then immediately not hit it. It's like, why have her just say that before this? Like, it's way too confusing of a scene for the inevitable thing of the clone girl's gonna fucking hit the button. Like, why are you treating this like it's a reveal? Andy Cortez.
You're so right, because when Bryce Dallas Howard says, I can't let this happen, I thought I had maybe glanced away for a second and missed her doing it already. And it's kind of, and then I'm sitting there going, well, what are we doing here? I thought you already did the thing. And then the button, and then the doors open. I go, oh, she hadn't done it yet. But then why have her like say that? Like, there shouldn't have been a line. There should have just been like she wants to hit it and then nothing happens, you know? And then of course, little girl says, I had to do it. They're just like me. And then Chris Pratt turns around. And he's like, you're going to jail for the rest of your life.
A lot of people. You know how many people you just murdered?
Yeah.
Not only that, because like the next sequence you see, right? And this is why it's so hilarious. Because in the back of my head, I'm like, dude, you're letting a lot of like the herbivores, sure, whatever. You got the tank dinosaur. It's probably not going to do too much damage. Maybe it'll do some structural damage, but that's why people have homeowners insurance, right?
It's true for dinosaurs.
But then immediately the pterodactyl.
It's a natural disaster if a dinosaur destroys your house.
Man-made disaster probably. So you're probably screwed. You're gonna have to have a special policy covering that. Yeah,
it's God.
But immediately,
active God, yeah.
The pterodactyls come out and start killing people immediately. Like, just start killing people. They attack Mills. All that stuff happens. But Mills ends up narrowly escaping and then almost gets smushed by a car. But he's like, "Oh, Mom, I'm doing okay." Thankfully, T-Rex for the 80th time in the series just comes out of freaking nowhere to get the job done, and then walks away. He's like, "Oh, I'll go over here now." And it's like, I forgot about T-Rex. There's a Tyrannosaurus Rex just loose in the North American wilderness. I'm sure no one's gonna die from that.
Tyrannosaurus Ex Machina, you know.
Exactly.
There we go.
Exactly. Owen says his final goodbyes to Blue, and then just lets an apex predator go again into the jungle for no reason, into a delicate ecosystem. And Maisie gives him a hug, and then stares directly into the camera lens like Damien at the end of The Omen.
Jeez.
Goldblum. We cut back over there. Gives another warning about genetic power killing the world, and we see the remaining.
They cut back to Goldblum, and he goes like, "I'm still here."
This has been a long deposition.
We see the remaining dinos being spread out throughout the world by the rich buyers, and then some surfers get eaten by a whale dino, and T-Rex finds another fence to go through so he can play with a lion. Owen sees a flock of pterodactyls flying, and Blue runs toward a suburb while Goldblum welcomes everyone to Jurassic World.
Joey.
I have one tiny annoying thing that I didn't realize was pet peeves until I started watching all these Jurassic Park things.
Joey's peeves, the pet peeves.
So in the first movie, there's a lot of those like cable cages that they have that make that like very specific noise
the
that
high tension
echoes.
wire noise.
Yeah. And for some reason, the sound designers of this movie have decided that that noise is a key Jurassic Park noise that they're going to use for every single type of metal fence in the history of the movie thing.
Makes sense.
And it just drives me fucking crazy because that's not how normal metal fences sound, like really hollow and
But
not
again,
like
Joey,
that
remember,
noise.
this is a different universe with
God.
technological advancements.
Thank you, Greg. Thank
likes
you.
of which we've never seen.
Right. In their universe,
everything you know.
It's pizza. It's 3.
Greg Miller being a Fallen Order or Fallen Planet, whatever the fuck this movie's called,
Kingdom.
Evangelist is my favorite thing. Like, this is awesome.
It's great. It really
is
does
our
bring
world
a
now.
much needed energy into the tail end of this in review series. I like it.
It's fantastic,
Wait till you
man.
fucking see what happens next week, everybody.
I did again.
I saw 5 minutes of the next film. Let me tell you, 2.5 minutes of it. I was like, is this not what I thought it was? But it is. It's a movie.
That's the thing is like them ending it this way, like getting the surfer reveal of the thing in the water and like the line and stuff. I'm like, we could have some fun here. I do have a question though that I feel like I asked last week, but I want to reiterate now. How come the pterodactyls didn't fly away before? Like, I understand keeping all the other ones on an island, but like the pterodactyls,
Yeah, it's so far away.
No, they did. Remember, there was a shot in the last film where he looks over and the fucking pterodactyls are flying next to the helicopter. They're already
flying
gone.
back to mainland. You know?
Weren't they
Yeah, they're
in
already
that
gone.
like atrium thing on the island, and that's why they couldn't get away? But then it broke open with the helicopter crash.
Yeah.
And then they all got let out.
Yeah, they all got let out. So pterodactyls have been in the ecosystem of the world.
But they haven't
for
flown that far. The island's
20
too far
years.
away. Like, imagine right
they need
now
that
if you're
wing
just
strength?
if you're a mallard duck, a beautiful mallard duck, you got that
sexy
green
duck.
shiny head, the yellow,
Look at that fucking
the
awesome
gray
duck.
wings with that black, or the brown and black,
Hey,
and the
mallard,
white outline
nice
to it.
feather.
You're a fucking mallard. All right, you're fucking a male one too. If I was talking about the female, they'd be all brown with the cool stuff happening on them. But I'm talking about the green head area. It's like,
There he is.
look at
Good
this
head,
majestic
skeleton.
motherfucker. You think right now he comes home from eating some bread at the park and he goes, you know what, honey, let's fly to Hawaii. That is impossible. That duck cannot fly that far. The pterodactyl cannot fly that far.
all right. That is a fair assessment. I trust you, I guess. Then it's time for Rag or Bagger, everyone.
Haiku in review.
It's time for Haiku and Review.
7 syllables in the middle. You need 5 for the first and last line. If it's not poetic, no need to fret it. Haikus don't need to rhyme. Haiku in review. Haiku in review.
You can go to patreon.com/kindafunny to write your reviews in haiku form, just like Lee Polero did, who says, little girl's a clone. She saves the dinosaur clones to eat the non-clones. Yep. That is what you really think about. That's the plot of this movie. Joe Merton says, it's a double whammy here. Well, Malcolm was right. Claire dooms all of us, doesn't she? Dumb choices are made. This wasn't that bad. It certainly wasn't great, but it didn't suck. Mr. Hawks 182 says, Mario is mad. Damn, Wheatley almost killed Blue. Got what he deserved. Because remember, Nick, Chris Pratt is about to be Mario in the upcoming
Thank you. I do want it noted, Tim, that subtly in the chat for the podcast the other day, I was trying to start your new nickname, which is Tim Ouija. You had a green beanie on. That one wrote itself. I just want you to know that.
I got it. Yeah. I look like Luigi.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Someone said this is the most Italian you've ever been, and the kids.
That's how it works. I get it.
The trogs in the chat were just like, "What are we gonna call him?" And of course, they came up with nothing but stupid fucking names, Greg. Stupid, dumb names. So I was like, "It's got to be Tim Ouija." That's what
it's got to be Tim Ouija, dude.
Of course, there's no other option.
Miscellaneous writes in with the plot in haiku. Miscellaneous says, "Stole from Dominic, took bone. What they do with it seems like InGen shit. Dino life at stake. Jeff thinks saving is a mistake. Morals are opaque. Wow. Double-crossed him, bud. Then escaped the lava flood. Stole some T-Rex blood. Claire and Owen jailed. Indoraptor is unveiled. Buyers should have bailed. Indy stalks indoors, scratching up the hardwood floors. Blue saves them once more. Good shit.
Very good.
Really
good
shit. Ragu Bagger time.
Ragu. Bagu. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bad Guys Talk Bad Guys here for Jurassic Park in review. There's 5 movies and I have 3 things listed, so I might need someone's help on this one. Number 1, I got Nedry. Number 2, we got Ludlow and Roland from Lost World. Number 3, we got the Spinosaurus and Velociraptors, Billy, Paula, and Amanda. I don't know what that means. Where did we want to put Indominus Rex? I forgot to put that on there. Did we do that last week? Do you have the rankings from last week?
I don't know why I don't.
I don't think we did. Maybe we didn't do it last
No,
week.
we must have it. I have Regu Bagu, Nedry, and then Vincent. Vincent D'Onofrio and Dominic Toretto.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, and Dominic Toretto. That's right.
That's number 2.
Oh,
Damn.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
Number 2. Where do we want to put Mills and Wheatley and the Indoraptor?
And the lava. Don't forget the lava. Nick.
And
Don't forget the lava. Lava's very important.
Yeah.
Can we get one comprehensive reading of where we are now?
Okay, right now, number 1, Nedry. Number 2, Vincent D'Onofrio and Dom. Number 3, Ludlow and Roland from Lost World. Number 4, the Spinosaurus and Velociraptors. And I don't know why I've had Billy, Paula, and Amanda, but they're on here as well.
Mills, the lava, and all the rest go to number 2. All right, they're real bad guys. They're here doing bad things. All right, they're cloning people. They're murdering people with pillows. They're fucking out. They don't care how many people they lose. Right? They went and got that Indominus Rex T-bone steak. Right? And what happened? They lose a whole bunch of guys. Guy gets bitten right off the ladder twice. You know what I mean? And awesome, by the way. Tim wants to say it's a Titanic rip, but fucking awesome opening of a movie. I'll tell you what. I don't want to spoil anything. I think that's a better opening than what you're going to get in Dominion because I've watched 5 minutes of it, so I'm kind of an expert.
I'm just saying it was copy Titanic. I love Titanic. I also agree. I thought this was a pretty good opening. I just thought it was confusing in the long run. I think that you're being a little too generous. And when I say I mean a lot. I don't like the bad guys in this movie. I think that they are evil, and I get that. They're bad guys. But they are not, in fact, rad guys. I know we are the rad guys talking about them, but in this scenario, I think they are such a far drop from Vincent D'Onofrio and Dom. Like Dom had some hype moments and like some great scenes of like teaching like how the camo works and all that stuff. The Indoraptor, I don't think had anything even near that. And
he chased sound, remember? And then he crawls like a monster on top of the roof, and then he goes
he
to
does.
the little girl's room, and he's like,
and for those reasons, I think it's pretty low. But looking at it, the rest of this list, like I think the rest of them have kind of sucked. Like Ludlow and Roland from Lost World, like I don't know. And then after that, the JP3 ones, like I think the bottom 3 are all just pretty.
All right, then number 3 then.
I'm gonna put it number 3.
I vote 4 or 5, but that's just me. I think that Ludlow and whatever I liked a little bit more than this one and the one.
I'm with Joe. I'll go
3.
there.
You guys, but you're also remember Zoloft's in this. Don't forget.
Zoloft, yeah.
Dick Eversol.
The anti-depression medicine.
All right, I'll put it at number 4. That's the official rating right now. So it's going to be Nedry, number 1. Number 2, Vincent D'Onofrio and Dom. Number 3, Ludlow and Roland.
How did we forget about Dom?
Oh, I mean, how could we not? And number 4, Mills and Indo Smoke.
Yes. I can't wait to in like 3 years read this list and try to make sense of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
Now it's time for dinosaurs, aka which death is the Beth?
Which death is the Beth? Death is better than all the rest. We got there.
Nailed it.
Kind of hard to
Mills, right? When he gets tossed up and the T-Rex bites him, and then the T-Rex with horns bites him, and they rip him in half, and you're like,
That's
man,
pretty
the
awesome.
T-Rexes are getting together, and they're gonna be friends. And then T-Rex is like, not really, bitch, and hits the T-Rex with horns, and he's like,
It was such a funny like brotherly react, or like it was like when you see a TikTok
Sibling
of 2
dynamic.
dogs.
Yeah.
It's really funny and cute.
I'm not gonna die on this hill, but I thought that death was being set up to be the Beth death in this movie, and I don't think it lived up to it, especially comparing it to Jurassic World, which I think that the assisted death is an all-timer. This one I thought it was a little bit lame, but I would say I would nominate. So it's a different thing for us than what we normally do, but I would nominate Blue killing the Indoraptor. Jumping down the thing.
That's pretty
Dude
cool.
with the roar.
I
Again,
like that.
I think it's low. I think it's low on the list, but I think it's higher than the dude getting his hand.
That's a
off.
good call. I like
that
that being this
fun.
Beth death. Yeah.
I support that. That's creative.
This is the
Unlike
problem
this
with all
movie.
you
I
Jurassic
also-
Park fans. You don't understand Jurassic World, and I really am. It makes me sick to my fucking stomach to be here. I wish we
still
had
on this
staffed this
hill.
with people
Greg,
who
could
are like
you-
normal Jurassic World fans like me. I'm sure Carboni, you know what I mean? Some other young people.
Can you ask the Discord how they feel about it?
I've already left the Discord. They were mocking me too
Joey
much.
Noel.
I was gonna say I also like the death of the guy who's obsessed with the teeth, and then he gets his arm bitten
Oh, he gets his arm
off.
bit real good. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets like teased by
Again, I think we
Buffalo
can
Bill.
go back
Give
to the
that a
very
shout out.
beginning too. Like the guy, I think it was cool when the megalodon swallowed the ball whole, and then even the
That's
guy who got
pretty
the
I
guy
like
on the
the
ladder,
one
he
on the
thinks he's gonna
ladder
get out.
better.
Yeah, and then you don't get out.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, it's a megalodon.
So right now, to rank these things, currently at number 1, we have the assistant jump the shark moment by the TDs.
Cool.
So yeah, Jurassic World.
Oh, the
Then we
dick.
have the TDs. Then we got the Nedry death from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And then tied at number 3, we have the dual T-Rex takedown of the Fate.
Nice.
Tied with the Udensky bait death from 3.
Okay.
Mm.
I would say that the blue killing Indo smoke goes in at last place.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
interesting.
shitty death.
Put
It
it
should be
there.
the best death.
Put it
but yeah,
there.
put it last place.
What do you want to call it?
Fucking Jurassic Park fans.
Andy, give me a name.
Double spike dom. Because it wasn't even the dom though, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Cool. And now it's time to rank the Jurassic movies. Currently number 1, Jurassic Park. Number 2, Jurassic World. Number 3, Jurassic Park 3. And number 4, The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Greg Miller. Where do you
I'm saying it again. Number 2.
Number 2 for
Jurassic
Greg
World.
Miller.
Lost World, not good movies. This isn't a good movie, but it's not a good movie. Have some fun, Nick, as you'd always say. Have some popcorn. I assure you, in 10 years, we're going to be fucking getting ready to do something on a Kind of Funny podcast. Nick's going to be like, I'm so tired. We're like, what? Why? And you're like, oh, well, I stayed awake watching Jurassic World 2, whatever it's fucking called. And it was on HBO, and I saw it, and I just had to watch it through, and then D left the room, and it was, and I'm like, yeah, that all makes sense. That makes sense.
I vote to put this at number 5. This is up until yesterday was the only Jurassic Park movie I'd only ever seen once. Now that number is at 2, and
Unfortunately,
I don't plan.
twice.
I know, and I don't plan on making it 3.
I would say, which one was the one with Julianne Moore?
2.
And that was
Jurassic
2.
World, Lost
Okay,
World, Lost World.
That's The Lost World. I'm going to put this right above The Lost World because that one is so fucking boring to get through. This one, I think, to Greg's point, there was some okay fun stuff in here. Yeah, the first time I watched it, I was like, whatever, that was a movie. The Lost World, every time it's on, I literally just, I can taste the boredom. I also want to issue a correction. It was not Snoop Dogg. It was Mr. Grimm who did the song Indo Smoke.
Good.
From the Poetic Justice soundtrack, if you guys want to check that out. No, I just Googled it. I was like, that doesn't sound right when it came out of my mouth. I was like, I don't remember that being Snoop. But yeah, it's Mr. Grimm.
Lost World, though, did have the gymnastics moment.
Yeah, dude.
That makes it worse. That's
I thought I might win you over.
Yeah, I put it at number 5. This is my first time watching this movie. I hope it's my last time watching the movie. I am with Nick in what he's saying, and that like I don't think that this is the worst film I've ever seen. Like I do think that compared to the Transformers movies, it's halfway through. I don't think it's as bad as the bad ones, but I don't think it's as good as the other ones. And I didn't say the others are good. So I'd put it at number 5. I think Lost World, while arguably worse because it's a sequel to the first one, and the first one's so good and it's such a steep drop off. I like the van scene in that, and I think that there's a classic quality to the Lost World that it's fun to laugh at. I didn't have fun laughing at this one.
I'm
Any
right there
protest?
with you, Tim. I am right there with you. I think when I try to compare them scene for scene, I think this movie has that really cool underwater sequence with the gyrosphere, and it's at one shot, and I love hearing the boom, 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 and it's like debris hitting the top of the rock, and then like that piece of lava hits and melts through. I think there's not a lot, I shouldn't say that. There's a couple of like creative moments in this movie that are just overshadowed by a lot of just shitty stuff. So yeah, I would put this at number 5, but like honestly, it's barely number 5 for me. I feel like they're like, if I were to kind of like athlete by athlete compare like points and rebounds and assists and all that shit, this it would be a lot closer than I would initially think.
I mean, having said that, for as bad as I think a lot of us here think this is, I think it's surprising that none of us voted it as at number 6, which we have done before for different movies and franchises.
But I see, again, like even me, someone who enjoyed the film thinks it's bad, but it's a fun bad. You know what I mean? Whereas I think like Dark World was not fun bad. Not just bad.
Yes. Dark World or Lost World? Are you talking about Thor?
Yeah, Thor Dark World. Right?
Yeah, okay, cool. I thought you about Lost World, either way. Because Thor Dark World, guess what? We got a rewatch coming pretty soon, everybody. Strap in. Can't wait for that fucking shit. But that is a couple weeks away, if not farther than that. Actually, no, it must be getting close because Thor Love and Thunder is coming out within a month from now.
Next week's Jurassic, and then it starts after that.
Woo-wee! That's exciting stuff. We're going to be back ranking the final movies currently right now. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Jurassic Park 3, The Lost World, Jurassic Park, and then Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Where will Jurassic World Dominion fall? We'll have to find out next week. I have 2 questions that I want to ask everyone here, except for Nick because he's gone. Will Chris Pratt ride blue? Yes or no?
Yes.
No. Blue's too weak and too small.
Blue's too small, yeah.
And then question number 2, are dinosaurs going to talk in this movie?
Yes.
No.
They're going to communicate somehow, like stomping. I love you.
Let's not talking.
I'm going to say no, but there's also a point that I meant to make earlier in the movie. Sorry, when they're fucking showing, when Chris Pratt and Pachycephalosaurus is running roughshod inside of the room with all the buyers or whatever. When Chris Pratt is running and punching dudes out, it's like he should have been Nathan Drake. We should have had fucking Bryan Cranston as Sully and this guy as Nathan Drake. Like he looked perfect running around. I think it was just like the running and punching with the Henley t-shirt. He looked great. He looked great.
Hey, did you ever respond to my thing yesterday about Bryan Cranston?
No. Wait.
I sent you a rare real Instagram DM. They were at the Sunset Cantina, him and Aaron Paul doing their tequila shit.
They were signing.
I did see that. Yeah.
Oh.
And they
That is crazy.
Apparently on this tour, they've been like actually the bartenders doing shit.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the videos on TikTok.
Dang.
Wow. Well, everyone, let us know in the comments below how bummed you are that you didn't get to go to Sunset Cantina and see Bryan Cranston, and also how badly we fucked this up. Everyone, please send some sweet, nasty love to Greg Miller for... I don't even know what for.
I've been right before, and like I can already see the comments already popping off because Gammon Creations, he was over here, said number 2, Fallen Kingdom is fun as hell, and then Jake Stepp says this movie is criminally low on this list, lol. Like, again, you can all laugh right now, but I'm just saying when Nick's, in a week from now, when Nick's going, oh, why are the Patreon numbers so low, blah, 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 I'll be there to tell you it's because you got it wrong, jackass. They came in with appendicitis, you told them it was a toothache and they're dead now. That's why. That's how bad this was.
Yeah.
I love you all. Goodbye.
Jackass.